Hello, my name's Julie from So Unique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. Well, welcome to episode 179. Thank you for joining me this week, and I hope you're all well, and I hope you've had a lovely week of crafting. My crafting got a little bit cut short this week because we went away for the weekend. That was sort of a last minute thing because it's our wedding anniversary on the 16th of July. So that's Wednesday, and with it being summer, Kevin will be working late, so we'd be hard pushed to get out for a meal or something. So we decided to go away at the weekend, and then if he's working late on Wednesday, it doesn't matter. So that's what we did. But I'll talk more about that a little bit later on because I've got some video footage and I went shopping, of course, so I've got a few little bits I can share with you. So I think first of all we'll start with the crafting. Right, I'll start with crochet. Well, last week I shared this because I'd only got one square done. To be honest, I haven't done much this week. I've managed to get 4 squares done and I've got another 3 to do, and I haven't even started last week's square. I hoped to have had these finished, but I am behind again. But it doesn't matter, I will get it done. To be honest, it's been a little bit too warm to sit and crochet, and I just didn't want to crochet this week because of the heat. It's just been uncomfortable, let's say that. And I did actually take the crochet away with me, thinking, oh, I might do it in the car as we're driving, I might do it there and back, I might do a little bit, whenever. And I have done nothing. So I brought my bag of bits back untouched. So basically that is my crochet, unfortunately, for this week. But I am definitely going to try my best to at least get these squares finished and start on the next one, because before I know it, this cowl is going to be finished, and I'm going to be halfway through. But still, it doesn't matter, does it? We just work at our own pace. I mean, there's people now joining the cowl and only just starting, so we all work at our own pace. There's no rush. Well, I've got some ice cold water this week in my strawberry cup. Oh, my ice cubes have gone, and I've only just done that. That was just 10 minutes ago. But I have been sewing. I've been making some baskets. I use the pink toadstool fabric that I shared with you last week, and some of the other things I made as well from the fat quarter bundles that I shared with you probably a couple of weeks ago. So we'll start with them. So these are the small baskets to start with. So this is another book related one. So that's really nice. That's sort of got a creamy background, right, little spots on it by the looks of it. And you've got your books and your teapot and your cactus and mugs and things like that, and a decorated bird cage. And then the inside is like the doilies. I don't know if you can see this. They're like crochet doilies. So that's very afternoon tea time, isn't it? So that's that one. And then the next one is the cottages in the countryside, which I think that's very nice. I love the colour. And so we've got all these little cottages and the hills. There we go. And on the inside, this is a blue inside with the doilies and the blues and the greens. So I think that's really nice. And the next one from the same collection is sort of the meadow, I would say. So all those gorgeous flowers. You've got some poppies. I would say they're poppies, and I don't know, are they lupins? These something like that, are lupins, but it's very meadow flowers, isn't it? And on the inside, it's a creamy fabric with like a little flowery background with the oval shapes with the flowers in. So that's really nice. So that's the two fat quarter bundles I'd got. There might be a little bit left over. I did make a boo-boo on one of them and had to change the liner on one of them. Whoops. And then the next one is this lovely autumn one. So we've got the hare there, and it's a cream background. So we've got hare, squirrels, foliage. So that's all the way around. There's only one of these. I don't have any more of this fabric left. The handles double, and then on the inside you've got the lovely yellow background with all the tiny toadstools. So I think that's lovely. That I love this fabric, and I think I've got some fabric that's the same as this, but it's got a navy blue background. I'm not sure how much I've got. That'll be in my pile to work on at some point. So yeah, but I've only got one in this fabric. And then for the toadstool fabric, I have got two of the small ones, which I think these have turned out really sweet, and I've just about used the fabric up. I've got just enough, I think, to maybe make one or two notion pouches and things like that, and hopefully some little lavender bags to go in these baskets. But I really do like this fabric. So once that's gone, they've gone. So we've got two small ones, and then I've got one of the medium ones. So it's the same fabric on the inside, and these will all be going on the website. All being well, they should be on when this video goes live, unless I have any problems with the internet, which does happen occasionally. So there's only, well, I'm going to say there's only one in this size, and I'll explain why in a second. Just let me have a quick drink. I have got another one, but it's not quite right. Right, well, this is a medium one again, but the only problem is this sort of stands up a little bit better. I used a different like wadding. Yes, wadding. This is like an equivalent to the H640, which I don't really use, but I sell loads of it. It's only £4 a metre in my shop, and everybody loves it, and yet I don't like it. I have to say I don't like it, because you can see there it's creased. I mean, yes, I've had to turn the bag. When I've ironed it, it's all ironed lovely. The fabric sticks to it really well, and then I have to turn the bag right side out, and it creases, and I can't get the creases out. I mean, it's not easy to iron, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my iron back out probably when I finish this vlog, and get some water in it and steam it and just see if it comes out, because like I say, it's got body to it and it just stand up really well, and it's just a shame I've got these creases on there, and I just don't understand why, because the side is not bad, but I'm hoping maybe a bit of steam will sort it out. But what I might do is I might just sell it at a reduced rate and try and get some close-up pictures so people can see what it looks like. But like I said, other than that, failing that, if nobody wants it, it'll just sit in my pile and I'll use it. and that's your box bottom there. So it's quite a decent sized box bottom. I think it's 4 balls. It's 3 or 4 balls. 4 balls I think this will hold. So it's not bad for your like medium projects and things like that. But I do like it. So basically that is all the sewing I've been doing. I've been cutting out some things because the weather was getting a little bit hot. I mean, the shop is quite cool, and I do tend to cut out everything down there. Just depends how busy I am, what I can get done. And Friday and Saturday morning before I went away, I managed to get a bit of cutting out done. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to turn the camera on pause for a minute, and I'll just go and get the bits that I've been working on. So this is projects that I'm definitely going to work on next week. Right, you'll have to bear with me because everything that I've got prepared is on my lap, and it's all sort of sat a bit precariously on my lap here. So what I've managed to do with the last bit of the fabric, I have cut out, let's let me see if I can get this right. So we've got 1, 2, right, I've got a little pile, and these I've got three pouches, I think. So these are going to be zipper pouches, and that's the shape of them. So we've got a pink liner and then I've got a cerise pink zip. So like I said, I've got 3 of them. So that's my little pile. Just going to pop these down, and then what is left is basically I've got that piece left and this piece left. So what I'm going to try and do is see if I can get some like small notion pouches out of these, and any scraps will then go into making some lavender, little lavender sachets, little lavender sachets to go in with the bags, but that's not too bad from the piece of fabric that I've got left over. So that is one thing. Then I have, right, now these I'd already cut out a while ago. I can't even remember when I did it, but this is some nice toadstool fabric, and that's the lining. It's coming out a little bit lighter on camera. It's slightly darker. So it's more, it's like a yellowy orange, but it goes well with like the butterflies. So I've got 2 of these, and these are going to be book pouches. So then I've got a spare piece here, so I might be able to get another couple of book pouches out. I don't know yet. If not, there'll be notion pouches. So I've got that. Then I've got 2 bags cut out, and this is, these are going to be this size, and that's going to be, if I do a drawstring, it'll be that, or I'll just do a zip if I've got some zips in this colour. So I've got 2 of these. So already I'm going to have a busy week next week. So that's the other one. And then I've been sewing the patchwork squares together. I decided to do that Saturday before I left, and I'm surprised I actually managed to get it done. So these are going to be a slightly different shape because I'm just sort of trying to use, you know, what I've got. So this is the first one, and they're all going to have this pale blue liner. Right, so that's the first side, and then the second side to go with it is that. So that's the first bag, And the handles, I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to do for the outer part of the handle yet. And then this is the second one, so that's one side. And then the other side, is that. And like I say, they're all going to have this nice light blue cotton fabric. I just now need to decide what fabric to use for a handle for each one of them. So I will have to look through the stash, look through what I've got in the shop, and then that'll be a few more bags for next week. So at least I've got a good start because most of the work's done already, so I should get through these relatively quickly. So hopefully I can still get on with my crochet. So basically next week is just sewing those bags up, crochet. If I've got any spare time, then I'm going to be dipping into my scrap bag. So I've got a few ideas of what I want to do, and thank you to everybody who left suggestions for some ideas. I'm definitely going to be working through them. I mean, I had hoped to start sooner, but I get sidetracked if I find nice bits of fabric. I think, oh, I'd make a nice basket. And I've got plenty more bits sat on my cutting table that are just, odd bits, things we've had in stock, or things that, like I said, I've cut off to sew up with something I haven't done. I'm still going to do the Alison one, well, not the Alison one, like the Alice fabric. So yeah, my list is growing all of the time. Well, I hope you've enjoyed seeing the baskets. Like I said before, all being well, they will be on the website, and all being well, they will be listed properly down below for the shop. Couldn't get the shop connected last week because I had to do something on the website. There's no information out there when people have to, when they want to connect the shop to YouTube, of what you have to do. So it was a bit of a learning curve. And basically you have to have Google Merchant and you have to download it all. And when you've got sort of nearly 900 products and it tells you it's going to take 9 days to do, it's like, what? That was a long time. But we managed to get it done. I kept doing a bit each day, and by Friday I'd got everything onto the Google Merchant site. So hopefully everything will work this week. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. Looks like Jake will have a little job for me. Right, well, I'm just going to tidy up and get the other bags of the little bits and bobs that I've bought while I've been away, and then I'll come back and chat to you about our weekend away.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove, folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love, remember when we were getting nowhere fast, when the garden won't stop giving back honeysuckle, fresh cut grass.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video of what we got up to this weekend. I mean, we had a nice weekend, and it was, like I said, it's not our anniversary till the 16th, but yeah, it's going to be 42 years this year. So, like I said, we decided to have a weekend away, and we got, well, Kevin found an Airbnb, and it was actually in somebody's house. So you've got your own room. Basically, you could use the living room downstairs if you wanted to. You got use of the kitchen, and you got use of the bathroom. It was a shared bathroom, but it was only this lovely lady. I think she was on her own, and she got this rescue dog. It was a pug cross, and he was 7, and he was lovely. He was so friendly. He just wanted fussing all the time, and he licked you to death. But he was really nice. And the lady was called Marcella, and she was lovely as well. The room was lovely. There was a little fridge in there. There was 2 fans. There was towels, everything that you could. There was milk in the fridge. There was 2 bottles of cold water in the fridge. There were teas and coffees, and what is it, pain au chocolat, those croissants that we've got chocolates in. They were there. I didn't eat any of them though, but it was really nice, really comfortable, and we had a nice stay. So that was good. So I think all the clips should have a name on where we went. So on the way down, I can't remember the place that we stopped at, but Kevin said to me that he knows what I'm like, so he'd already looked for fabric shops for me, but most of them shut at 2 o'clock or at lunchtime, or they weren't open. And he found one that was open till 4 o'clock, so we were going to go there first, which we went. Unfortunately, it was closed, and online it said it was open, but it wasn't out of our way, so it didn't matter. So after that, off we went to Belper. So I think the first clip you will see a bit of sort of one of the streets. Now I don't know if that was the main street or not, because with the time getting on, we didn't have time to go anywhere else, and it was all uphill, and Kevin's back was playing him up a little bit, so he's still got back trouble, and I think it's sciatica that he's got. So, but it is going off and getting better. But walking up the hill was a bit for him, and it was very hot that afternoon as well. So we went there, and I found a lovely little shop. It sold yarn and gifts it sold. And if I can remember that, I did take a photograph of the shop, so if I can remember the name, or I'll just put the picture in of the shop. And I got myself this lovely ball of yarn. This is Woolcraft Shetland Tweed Chunky, and it's by Woolcraft. And isn't that lovely? I thought that would make a nice pumpkin, so I got that. Let's just see what it is. If it was really soft, it's 77% acrylic, 20% wool, and 3% viscose, and it's a warm wash, machine or hand. So I thought that was nice. That was very nice. And then I got myself a crochet book. And why I bought it, because it's got these little fellas on the front of it, and they're crocheted. And that's an idea of what else is in this book. This is book 1. This is Scandinavian style crochet, and it's one of the King Cole books. So you've got stockings, you've got decorations with a tree, an angel, bunting by the looks of it, a cushion, and a heart, and some little gonks. So, and that's what attracted me to it, the gonks. So I might have a go at them. Let's see if I can find them. Some of the other books I've actually already got. Oh, there we go. Gonks on a Shelf it's called, and that's the little decorations for hanging on the tray. So that is something for future me. So after that we went to the Airbnb, and we were there for a while. Then Kevin had already booked the restaurant for us Saturday morning while I was at work, and the place that we were stayed in is called Wirksworth. So that's in the Peak District, not too far from Matlock and Belper. So we walked up. It was like uphill and up and down. It wasn't too far to walk, and to be honest, I'm glad we did walk, because I was quite full after the meal. So it was a nice little walk back, because the sun had obviously gone round, and we got a bit of shade, so it was quite a nice cool. There was a bit of a breeze coming back home, so it was lovely. So the restaurant is called the Casa Carlo, and it was lovely, and I would highly recommend it if you're ever in the area of the Peak District and you want a meal. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, there's the owner there. He was lovely, Italian, very pleasant, and there was a lady there sort of waiting on the tables, and she was lovely as well. And I didn't take a photograph of the start. I just completely forgot to do that. We'd eaten it by the time I'd remembered. So we decided to have a starter. So we got tempura vegetables, and we had bread with the olive and balsamic vinegar. And I've never had that, I don't think. Well, I might have, I don't know, I can't remember. So we shared, and it was really, really nice. Really lovely bread, and yeah, the balsamic and olive oil and it was really nice, and the tempura vegetables were beautiful. So Kevin says to me, well, do you think you can do tempura vegetables? I said, well, I don't know. I says, all I know about tempura is it's a light, fluffy batter. So I says, I'll have to look into it. I said, but I'm not doing it now. It's too warm in the kitchen for that, so you can wait until the weather's cooler. But yeah, it was beautiful. And then for the main course, you get, I mean, I had chicken in a creamy mushroom sauce with garlic, and I think there was onions there. And I had the sauteed potatoes, and Kevin had the sea bass, and he had sauteed potatoes. But we didn't know sort of whether the sea bass would come with veggies or not, and it didn't. So I mean, we could have ordered vegetables. If we'd have known, we'd have probably had one side of veg and one side of potatoes and just shared it. But it didn't matter because what we had was absolutely beautiful, and it was so tasty, and it was cooked to perfection, and I loved it, and I have put pictures in of that, so I know that. So I've got carbonated water, and I've got a gin. I've got a raspberry and berry gin, which was beautiful. So that was enough for me. I didn't even have a coffee because I was just full. I couldn't take any more. I didn't want a pudding, but Kevin said he was going to have a pudding. And I said to him, I bet they do tiramisu here. So it'd be nice to try it. So he had tiramisu, and they brought us 2 spoons. Same was the third. So I had a taste of it, and I have to say, the tiramisu was absolutely beautiful. Completely not what I expected. Certainly far better than the supermarket versions. It was beautiful, and I definitely, well, we'd definitely go again if we're in the area. So you never know, I might be there again next year. So yes, we had a lovely trip around. Where did we go? So, oh, we went to the Cromford and High Peak Railway. Now it's only a little railway; it's a narrow gauge one. So we had a little trip on that, and we had an ice cream while we were sat there. So Kevin were having a chat to the men, and we were there, I think, when it opened. So that was nice. And then we went to Middleton, no, Middletop Countryside Park, I think it was, yeah. And it's got the High Peak Trail, so that was Wirksworth. And what do we go into? Oh, it's like a little. Well, there's not a great deal there, I will say that, but it's. Oh, excuse me a minute, I've dropped my book. Sorry about that. I had to make a few notes because otherwise I'd forget where we went to. So yes, I am going to be reading from my notes, so you'll have to excuse me looking down. Like I said, there's not a great deal there. It's part of the High Peak Trail, I know that. So we had a walk along. Of course, the sun was out, and it was so hot. It was like, oh, but yeah, we only had a short walk. They've got a lot of wildlife, like wildflowers there, and they've got caterpillars on some of the plants, which were nice to see. I haven't really seen caterpillars for a long time. And there was bike hire. There was a little shop. I think you could get drinks and other things, ice creams probably. I don't know if they did sandwiches or not. I don't remember seeing them. But there's a lot of little gifty things as well in the shop. And it also houses the restored steam engine house built in 1829 by the Butterley Company to haul wagons up the Middleton Top incline. And you have to pay to go in to see this. So we did that, I mean, was more for Kevin's benefit than mine, but it's interesting. He likes things like that. So we went in, and obviously the man's there and he has a chat and he tells you all about it. These days, the engine, they don't run it by steam, it's by air pressure, I think he said. So, excuse me, just let me have a drink. So obviously we're at the top and there's a barrier across, and he set it going so you can see like the pistons going up and down and everything. So that was interesting. And then he said that they actually tried it in May for the first time to let it run by steam, and it went fantastically well. So everybody, all the visitors that went to see it were absolutely fascinated by it all. And he said they're going to do it again, but they're not going to do it again till Maybank holiday in 2027. So for an engine that's that old that works by steam, I think it's fantastic, and I think it's the only one in the UK that does that, or it's the oldest one in the UK. But yeah, it's worth seeing. So that was nice. Then after that, we crammed a lot in. After that, where did we go? And we went to Cromford Mills. That was nice. Kevin and Adele have been there before because they have this massive marquee, and you'll have seen all the buildings. It's just in a big curve and everything. So there's a marquee there, and that's where they have sort of events. I think it was Japan Fest Adele did there. She did quite well there. There's a few shops there. I think there was a gallery, antique place, there's cafe, toilets. What else is there? Oh, Weaver knit shop, and it's like lots of yarn, lots of patterns, lots of handmade gifts. Oh God, what's it called? The yarn for spinning. I'm not up to what all this is called. There's like plats of, I'm just going to call it floof really, but yeah, lots of things like that. So that was lovely. So I did get a couple of things from there. Just excuse me a second while I lean across. I did buy a gift there that I can't share with you because it's for my friend for her birthday, but I got myself this little Highland cow coaster, which I like. Well, I love it really, so my kind of thing. And then I got myself a bag. So it's just a little tote bag with appliqued caps on. So that was really nice. Oh, and I also went into the cheese shop. Now you will have seen that probably at the end of the vlog, I was trying to show the cheese and the crackers that we got. Well, we were parked up in the car because that's the only place I could do it, because I thought by the time we get home there'll not be much cheese and crackers left because we hadn't had any lunch. So that was like a bit of a snack until we got home to have tea. But we bought some cheese, and now I can't think what the green one's called off the top of my head, but obviously you'll see it in the video. That was Kevin's, and mine was the honey and fig, and it was really nice. They have got so much in that cheese shop, it's unbelievable. Lots of lovely crackers and biscuits, cheese cutting boards, cheese knives, and lots of other things. But I couldn't really buy anything else. I only bought a small amount of cheese because I knew we wouldn't be able to keep it because it's quite warm in the car. But the sourdough crackers were really nice. I've never seen sourdough crackers before, so we enjoyed them. And I had cheese today for my lunch on toast. It was really nice. So yeah, so basically we've had a lovely weekend. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed watching the sort of the clips of what we've been up to. And yeah, I'm just glad the weather was nice. But it's nice to be back home though. I actually slept like a log Saturday night. I was fast asleep before Kevin had even turned the light off. But yeah, well, it's nice to be back, get back to normal. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and thank you for joining me. It'd be lovely to hear what you've been up to over the weekend. If you've been away anywhere or you've been crafting, let me know down below what you've been up to. And yeah, I'll see you all again next week for another vlog. So take care, everyone. Have a lovely week. I hope the weather's not too hot for you and you can manage to get some crafting done. And I will see you then. Bye for now.